Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you guys an update to my Superheavy Samurai deck profile for February 2017. We did get some support in Raging Tempest for this pack, and when I say for this deck, and when I say support, I mean one card. So we're not really looking for the new support addition to this deck. I do have the new card, which is a Synchro Monster in this deck, but we're looking at just some of the changes I made, basically with the Superheavy Samurai lineup, and it made the deck run a whole lot faster as a whole. And I'm really liking how faster, like I said, it is, speed-based it is, your synchro plays are faster. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in and you'll see what I mean. Standard for the Superheavy Samurai deck, we have 3 Superheavy Samurai Big Benkei. He is your main monster of the deck. When it's normal or special summon, you can change its battle position, and Superheavy Samurai monsters can attack while in defense position, and if you do, apply their defense. So Big Benkei has 1000 attack and 3500 defense, so making him a big beater in a way, along with being Big Benkei. He has 3500 attack, he's your main use, easy to get out, and he's also your synchro play for Susanoo most of the time, using him and a tuner monster. So he's the guy you want to have to sit on, because he'll also give all your Super Heavy Samurais the defense attack power. Plus 3 Flutist. I would say this is the quickest way to get basically a Big Benkei out from your hand. You tribute Flutist to special summon a Super Heavy Samurai from your hand, and the biggest play is to get Flutist tribute and then summon Big Benkei. And then from the graveyard, Flutist is basically, it can negate the activation of an effect that targets a Super Heavy Samurai monster I control. You banish him from the graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. You can only use each effect once per turn. So much setup. He's a definite must-have at 3. The fact that he's protection from the graveyard and then an easy special summon from the hand, you can't go wrong with this card when you open up with him. And I also run 3 Super Heavy Samurai scales. The numbers of these cards haven't changed because, like I said, they're very important, very vital to the deck. If your opponent controls 2 or more monsters, and you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target 1 level 4 or lower Super Heavy Samurai monster in your graveyard. Special summon it unless it's Super Heavy Samurai scales, and you can't summon it that way. And you can only use the effect once per turn. So he's an easy synchro summon from the graveyard, especially if you grab a tuner with him. Yeah, otherwise, you can grab an level 4 also and have an Exceed summon play with him this way. And the special summon effect is good because he also won't take up your normal summon. So if emergency calls for it and you need to get him out with the special, summon another, then you can tribute those 2 for Big Benkei. Like I said, if you need a big hitter and your Exceed play just isn't going to cut it otherwise. And now I'm also running 3 Super Heavy Samurai Magnet. This card actually, I got a lot of talk in my last deck profile. I did not run this card, and after testing it, I really do like this card. He creates a lock basically with himself, being he is the only card your opponent can attack. So when you have 2 magnets on the field, it creates a lock in which your opponent can't attack, which is really nice. But I also like him for the fact of when he is normal summoned, I can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Super Heavy Samurai monster from my hand, then change this card to defense. So if I have the 2 in my hand, it's the quick lock, because you don't have to wait another turn to get another one on the field. You can just go basically normal, effect, special, then switch him to defense, and there's the magnet lock. Or if I can even just grab another Super Heavy Samurai from my hand, including the tuners, or another level 4, and have an Exceed summon play. He's just very fast-paced. That's what I really like about magnets. Good defense stat also, but like I said, if you have 2 in your hand, they won't be able to attack. Plus 3 Giga Gloves. This card is set up from your deck. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you have basically no spell or traps in your graveyard, you can look at the top 5 cards from your deck and then place them on the top of your deck in any order. And when an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can banish this card from your graveyard to excavate the top card of your deck. And if it's a Super Heavy Samurai monster, the attacking monster's attack becomes 0. Otherwise, send it to the graveyard. So you know it's going to be a Super Heavy Samurai card. Guarantee you run a lot of them in the deck. And if not, it was very unlucky on your part, and the odds are very against you. But set up, and it's a permanent 0 attack, so the next turn you'll be able to get over that monster very easily. And also I run 3 Soulpiercer. this is your search card. When it's sent to the graveyard, you can add a Super Heavy Samurai monster from your deck to your hand. And also, if you can equip this card to a Super Heavy Samurai you can control, and if you do, when it attacks, it inflicts piercing. So piercing is very vital, especially with a lot of decks that play defensively. If you equip this to Big Benkei, and his piercing can almost hit 3k depending on what the defense is of the monster. And the search effect is great too, because you can grab any Super Heavy Samurai that you need for the situation. And also run 3 Soulfire Suit. This is your protection for your deck. Basically with this card, it protects your monsters from being destroyed by battle or card effects, basically. You can target Super Heavy Samurai you control, accept this card, and send it from your hand to your side of the field to the graveyard. Its level becomes 5, and during the player's turn, you can discard this card, then target 1 defense position the Super Heavy Samurai monster you control until the end of this turn. It loses 800 defense, but it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. So this card's also vital for the new Synchro card, which is a level 7. It's very difficult otherwise to make a level 7 with the build I have, but making it, equipping it and making it a level 5 gives access with your level 5 monster and your level 2 tuners for the level 7 Synchro play. And also 2 Soulbuster Gauntlet. It's another equip card, and basically with this card you can gains 400 defense when you equip it, and during either player's turn, when a defense position monster you control battles an opponent's monster and you have no spell or traps in your graveyard, you could send this card from your hand to the graveyard. The battling monster's defense becomes doubled. So with Big Benkei, that's a 7k attack. That's a finisher on most part, especially if you have the other one equipped as well. Like I said, the double defense is really going to hit hard against your opponent. I also run 3 Battle Ball, probably your best tuner in the deck. He requires having no spell and traps in your graveyard for this to go off, but he lets you use your opponent's monsters for the Synchro plays, with him and himself included and their monster. And we have a wide variety of Synchro monsters now in Super Heavy Samurai, meaning that we have access to a lot of their monsters as well. We have a level 7, a level 6, a level 10, meaning all those different level monsters get you access to taking them to use for Battle Ball. I know that the Super Heavy Samurai specify a specific monster, but this counts as a special summon for that monster, so it's not an exact Synchro play. It's just taking those 2 monsters to equal up for the Synchro play. And also run 3 Trumpeter. He's good. He's an easy special summon from the graveyard, or a free run from your hand if you have no spell or traps in your graveyard. So you won't take up your normal summon. If you have to get Big Benkei out with that tribute play I said, then get him out. And most of the time when I did this play, it's so I can get out Susanoo. But he's also a good target for scales for the special summon, or magnets to get out Shutendoji for spell and trap popping effects. And I also run 2 Coral. This is your Pendulum card of the deck, the scale 8. Basically, you can tribute this card and up to 2 Super Heavy Samurai monsters, then draw them any cards. That's the monster play. And the Pendulum scale effect is while you have no spell or traps in your graveyard, this card's Pendulum scale becomes 4. And once per turn, when a Super Heavy Samurai monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can activate this effect. That monster can make a second attack. So if you attack with Big Benkei and another 3,500, that could be a game winner right there with this card in your scale. And with Jade, his monster effect is he only requires 1 tribute from Super Heavy Samurai monster to normal summon this card. Level 8 monster, just like Big Benkei, just not the same stats as him, but he also has the defense applying for damage calc. And you cannot Pendulum summon except for Super Heavy Samurais when he's in your scale. This effect cannot be negated. And once per turn, you can target 1 Super Heavy Samurai monster you control and increase its level by 1, even if this card leaves the field. So another helper for the level 7 play if you target 1 of your level 4 monsters with this card. Plus, I also run 3 Swift Scarecrow just for hand traps. Like I said, I don't run any spell or traps in this deck, so Swift Scarecrow helps just by battle negation. Keep this card in your hand, and if your opponent tries to rush you, this card can save your butt in a duel. And 2 Giant Rat. This is just for a swing, and then when it's destroyed, I can go straight into Big Benkei from my deck, since he does have 1,000 attack, and Rat specifies 1,500 or less. And my special tech is actually 2 Magical Golems. This card allows you to basically target a monster you control. You have its attack, but it can attack your opponent directly this turn. Now, with Super Heavy Samurais, the attack doesn't matter, so being able to attack directly with Big Benkei is very important, especially if they set up a board that you can't get over, like Dante as an example. This card's going to help you with that, so you can just bypass it, attack directly, and hit them for big damage. Because with Super Heavy Samurais and that piercing ability, damage is what matters. And for monsters, I run 2 Susanoo. He is good in the fact that he lets you take your opponent's spell and traps from their graveyard and set it on your side of the field and use them. So you can't use spell and traps, just use your opponent's instead. Got the same defense attacking effect as well that applies. So 3,800 defense when he attacks. Like I said, the easiest play with him is Trumpeter and Big Benkei to summon this guy out. 2 Shutendoji. When you summon him, if you have no spell or traps in your graveyard, you destroy all spell and traps your opponent controls. So pesky back row. This is an easy 1-card play, like I said, with either scale or magnets. So if they're either going to stop this play and then you got another play to go off of, or they're going to let this happen and lose a lot of their vital cards, including pendulums, back row, you name it. 1 Ninja Sarutobi. This card can attack while in defense, just like all the other ones. If it does, you apply defense for damage. During either player's turn, if you have no spell or traps in your graveyard, you can target 1 spell or trap on the field, destroy it, and if you do, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. So another easy spell trap. He's a level 8, which means you have a little more option to go with Shutendoji after this card. You can make your Shutendoji, and then next turn, if you don't want to rely on him anymore, use another tuner to synchro into Sarutobi. And Stealth Ninja is a one that lets you attack directly by halving his defense, so it's a good card to go off of. Like I said, it's the new one also, and basically during your next standby phase, if this card was destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon it. So it's also one that keeps coming back as well. Like I said, you have to do a little combo wise to summon him though, because you have to raise levels with either Soulfire Suit or your scale. Plus 1 Naturia Beast, 1 Barkion, they're level Earth, so very easy to get these guys out. 1 Trish, you're going to need a 4, 3, and a 2 to make him. Chambara, 3 and 2 for this one, but Machine with 2 attacks can also help for your games. Plus 1 Soul of the Silver Mountain, 1 Leviaire, 1 Gear Gigant, 1 Daigusto Morale, and 1 Castel to finish up the extra deck. But like I said, it's a really fun deck. I hope you guys all enjoy the video. Very easy to make. Also, it's easy to pick all this stuff up. So definitely give it a try. You'll see that it's a lot of fun to do. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And Kira Twig out.